Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. It's time for the 5th event of the year, 6th year, first in endurance racing of course, and we're in first with a bit of a margin now, not at all a safe one though. And Yokohama marks the halfway point, so after this it'll be all downhill if we keep doing well. 12 hours again, Eurosport. Yeah, they're equally great. Awesome to win my home race. What a buzz, says Muck, and he gets plus 25 morale, so that's nice. And Mueller as well. Pit crew, who do we have? Very nice person here. Gallard, I'm not seeing the tires. We just can't bring in tire people, but we can get a couple of good front jack people there at least. 19 and a 20. We got a 20 on the front jack already. Who's our backup? Our backup is LaRoe. So I think I'm going to get rid of him. We'll bring in Chang. Stick him out there right away since he's got better stamina. And then for our fix people, Masud is the one I'm going to get rid of. And then bring in Gaillard. There we go. Let's see, who needs to rest now? You need a rest, and you're one of my refuelers. Got some tire people that need to sit, and we just can't bring in anybody on these positions that's up to snuff, I don't think. Gomez is as good as we're going to do for that spot. So we've got a couple 17s, a couple 18s out there. We're still the best on the grid. Would like better tire people, but there's none to be had. I'm going to keep these two around, reject these other two. Sponsors, let's see what we have there. Okay, 2 up front and 1 fixed payment. Fixed payment's the best deal overall. I think we're in a position now to start looking at that. So, there we go. And then our per race amount is now moving more into the positive. He's going to start bringing a security guard because he's a little concerned. It gives him more morale, but lowers the mechanic relationship, as you might expect, because they're not being trusted. Okay, so at the moment, 4th overall. Our engine is 3rd. 3rd in gearbox, even though it's up near the top. Our brakes are the best, and, well, our spoiler leaves a lot to be desired. So, kind of middling here. The brakes are going to be key, along with the suspension and the nose. So it's going to be about brakes for the developed parts, which is good news for us, because our brakes are doing quite well. So I think I want to clear this out. Let's boost performance on the brakes, and of course keep going on the engines. And we just finished, yes, the gearbox. So we're full on brakes, we're full on the gearbox, we're full on the engine. So I think we're moving on to the rear wing now, as our last part that we have not developed yet at all. And none of this is good. Yeah, so if we go here, actually I think I probably just want to, whichever, it's not going to matter for this one. I mean, this one's worth getting, but other than that, we may not be moving up the rear wing as much, so we may do like a second max part on some of the other ones. We'll see, but first of all, we'll just get this in. We should be able to be very quickly moving those along. And we definitely want to boost, this gearbox here, that we're going to max out. Boy, we're We're going to max that out quickly, but we're going to be having the other stuff come in. So for now, I'm going to put everything over here until we see what the timing is going to be on some of those rear wings. And now we get to vote. Points for the top 8. We're abstaining. And it's not going to pass. 1 for and 3 against. We'll stick with the top 10. Jean Todt announcing all of that. And there's our super quick rear wing design. So let's pop in here. Now this one we do want. Yeah, and none of those are really interesting to me. So I think I want 2 of these. And since we can do these so quick, I think I just want to pop out 2 of these right away. And then we'll move back on to other parts. And we might just back off because of the finances. Like I may just, you know, hold it off and just save more money instead of throwing more money into it. That might be better, and then give us a little bit better of a financial position, assuming that we move up. Now, we're going to want, we don't want to put that one in yet. We want to keep this working. It's going to be done in about 7 days. Let's see our calendar here. But I think the rear wing is going to be finished before, just before we finish that reliability. And that's going to be basically perfect because we'll switch over from that gearbox into the rear wing. So let's keep that rolling on. Yep, just the day after. So that's virtually perfect timing here. Oh boy, this is up to 96. I didn't even think about that. That's up to 96%. We're definitely yanking that out. I actually went a little bit too far because I didn't think about the fact that it was going to get it all the way up. Okay, now we're going to want you in here. And of course, we're going to bring in one more. I might as well take the -10 red zone. I don't need it, but I'll take it here. Okay, so let's see. It's going to take about 7 days. Yeah, it'll be ready about the same time as that other one is done. I'm just going to bump it down here so we don't quite run into that same issue again. Get us a little bit more work on the part improvements. %, that's close. I'm going to move you out here. And to max out them both, be about there. So I think we're actually going to want to go do about 10 for now. We'll watch this, we'll adjust it, we'll pull this one out, etc. We're going to boost some of these. So we'll have a couple new rear wings for the next race. And then, yeah, 3.6 million. And the question is, are parts good enough for the rest of the season? And right now I'm going to say they are. I'm going to put money in here, shore up our future, stop developing new parts for now, just because of the financial crisis. And not really so much a crisis anymore, but we want to dig our way out of the hole. You know, if we start struggling, that could come back to bite us. I can always start designing new parts again after the next race. We're talking about a 2-week waiting period until Yokohama. I'm going to miss between 2 and 3 weeks by doing this here. But right now, it's a tough call. That's the call I'm going to make on it. Let's just go every few days here, I think, at this point. 89%. Let's bump this a day at a time. And no, I do not wish to choose a vote because I think I'm going to get promoted. There we are, 91%. Okay, so let's double check here. Get all the way up there for 11 days, but we don't want to get all the way up. I think I can drop this down to about 7 at this point. Continuing to shovel little bits more into the performance. Okay, Yokohama 2.65, lap record's 122. So there's going to be some rain. A lot of pressure is placed on the brakes. We have the best, so all of that's good. Brakes research facility. No, we don't have money. Okay, and let's just double check this one more time. 14 to get it all the way done. And we don't even need half of that. I'm going to dump this down to 6. And that should get us right about where we want to be. Yes, you're worried about the money. Shocking. So we're on top of the standings, and Keiji Fujiwara says we need to keep Antonio Mello and company in check from Dragon Speed. We're rapidly approaching crunch time. Doesn't bother us at all being the team to catch, and all of a sudden we're starting to be favored now. David McNamara says, you know what, they fancy our chances. I don't think it will. I think we're going to be good. And let's see how we did in getting this boosted. 92%. We'll raft everything over into performance for the time being. Okay, so it's going to be very warm. So I think we're definitely going with mediums or hards. Still want plenty of softs because of the qualifying. But that warm, I think this is actually a good opportunity to use hards. And that could come back to bite me because they won't be as fast, but they'll have good endurance. And I can always push them a little bit if they're too good for the temperature. I don't know if they will be. I mean, 5 stints for each car, so 6 hards, 1 for practice, 1 for each of those 5 stints. The rest going in softs. I think that's the place that we want to be. Now, let's check out getting some more parts out there. We should be putting those out. Oh, that's the rear wings, actually. Excuse me. There's the gearbox, and we want to put that second one out in place. So they say first and 5th. Still not great for the second car, but definitely the best we've been projected here. We're feeling really good about it. Off we go to Japan. I believe this is the first time, another race, it's the first time that we've seen it in the career mode, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we visited all of them when it came time for the challenges. And the setup preference is not causing me any problems, so I'm just going to sort of stick with it. And again, Kesthelyi, our lowest member of the totem pole in terms of predicted form for this weekend. Everybody else looking good except for her. I don't know what is up with her, but she is slumping something terrible. Okay, so we're looking like we're having good weather for practice. We do, I think... We'll go and start with hard tires race. We're going to want Mueller out there. Hard tires it is, and that's going to get us through... Yeah, even though they're saying it's a shorter track in terms of time, and you can see that this particular version of it cuts off a significant part of that loop, it's still going to be, that should be plenty of distance. Now, if we went with mediums, it's a long, you know, if it, mediums would have been far enough, would have been long enough, probably. Softs, definitely not. So, it really is a hard medium type track. He wants lots of downforce. We'll go all the way up to 8.0. Let's see. Let's go a bit more this way. Both of them were thinking qualifying trim. I am not, and I certainly didn't want to put you on qualifying and hards. So it's going to be very interesting here as we're actually favored to do something this race, whereas the other races were favored to finish middle of the pack, and I'm thinking that's just going to show off the increasing quality of our car. We have that now in addition to the issues with strategy that we've been able to take advantage of. Doesn't like the downforce. Yeah, okay, about a minute and a half. So I think mediums would be long enough. Like, mediums would have enough durability to get us there. Softs wouldn't. But hards will be better for the temperature. And, of course, they'll lose performance not as fast. It's very rare we get to use hard tires. And we'll see if that ends up being the right move or a mistake. Looking pretty good so far. Let's come in and make some changes. %, for our initial look. Downforce is bad. So I'm going to assume you want it higher. Probably not enough. We'll try that, and we may want to send it more. So handling was pretty good. I think this is a track that we're going to want oversteer on. So we'll come that way and then bump that back. That looks pretty decent. Goddard says his setup looks a little bit better. Yes, indeed. 86% here. Downforce still not quite there. We'll go ahead and make it a little bit higher. Handling a couple that way. Acceleration more this way. Should be in the right ballpark at least. I think probably that's a little too much shift on the handling, but we'll deal with that later. Everything did need a bit of adjustment. No change in the weather coming up. We should be able to easily get all of our trim levels if this continues. We'll bring in Mueller here. Not sure about Goddard. Oh, yep, there's going to be enough time. We'll bring in you both. And we've nailed the there we go. We've nailed the downforce. So now we've just got to fix the handling and the speed. And the handling needs to go back this way. The speed needs to go a little bit higher towards top speed. So there. That's probably a little bit high. This is definitely high. I'm going to try that. Try that, excuse me. And now it's time to nail our qualifying. Less than halfway through the practice session. I'm feeling pretty darn good about things. Actually got things slightly worse. Okay, so we actually want to go lower on the downforce. Handling. Okay, speed needs to be higher. Handling probably slightly more understeer. That's reasonably close, I would think. There we are. Both drivers on soft and qualifying. Presumably we'll have one stop here again and then another one later. And we really should be able to firm up our setups, given how well clean this is going with no obstacles, no weather. So far, positive thoughts. And of course, we're recording some nicer times now that we are using the faster tires. And Goddard now up to first. Go ahead and ride with him for a bit. His form is not great. But yeah, so overall, we're feeling pretty darn excellent. Mueller is going to come into the pits first. Refueling and adjustments to be made. Close. 97%. We're almost there. Let's see what we can fine-tune here. So handling went from good to okay to great. I'm thinking that, yeah, I need to do a little bit more oversteer. That's what I thought before. Now, on speed, we went from great to good. See, this was great. I'm thinking we want to go just a little bit higher on the speed and just a little bit lower on the understeer. And those will fit together very nice. No, not that way. Yeah, more oversteer. Okay, so I need to move them both in the same direction. Okay, so if we go here. Then maybe I tweak that just a little more. Yeah, I'm going to try that. And what does Goddard have to say? Very similar numbers. Yeah, 97%. That's the same number. Handling's right where we want it. Downforce. Great. Good. Still great. Alright, let's try moving it. Yeah, right out to the very edge. And then speed. Oh, I didn't check that. Good, poor, and great. So this was good. This is great. Let's try moving speed back the other way a bit. Okay, so this is just a hair up. Yeah, that's not what I want. Let me try. Yeah, let's just see what happens if speed is right on the very end. Then we can always move that around next time in, and we probably will end up doing that. So we just want to get our level 3s, then come back in for further adjustments. And let's see, I think we'll bring in Mueller this time. And okay, bringing them both this time. Beautiful. Well, you don't need to do anything. You're just going to refuel, go back out there. Well, actually, no, you don't need to even go back out there. There's no point. Goddard, you need to go back out there because our handling isn't right yet. So we want these two right on the very... I like how this is excellent, but it's actually off the scale. Which means I probably wouldn't be hurt by inching it just the slightest bit back. But handling, good. Great. Excellent. And then there. So we need to bump that up. Yeah, let's see if we can get away with that. So we just want to squeeze that last little bit out. We're at 99% and 98 already. We've already done that. Beautiful. Qualifying trim's already in the books. What do you say about your setup? 99% for both cars. Go look at your trim numbers, guys. We've already done all of those things. Two of the top 3 times. And you can see the margins here pretty close. Alpine Matmut, perfectly set up. Could not ask for a better practice session. Let's see how that carries over into qualifying, but I expect that we'll do well. And for some reason, everybody is talking about us after practice. We've got a fan says you better deliver. I think we're delivering so far. We're in first place by 25 points. And we got people who are gutted about practice, including Zane Goddard. We did great. There's absolutely no reason for you to be upset. So I think that they're not really accounting for the Class A, Class B distinction when they do that. They're just seeing that we're at the top of the standings and we finished middle of the pack on practice. Alright, so we'll throw Muck and Mueller out there. Well, we'll throw Castelli and Goddard as well. Since Bjork is down more. And we can see as the season wears on, the drivers in Car 1 are all now 4-star. And the drivers in Car 2, not so great. Which is kind of interesting. Of course, we're all set for a maximal result here. All that set. Let's make sure that we have fresh tires. We do. So we have no excuse for not doing well in qualifying. Wow, Muck at 10.0. Let's get you out there like yesterday. Castelli, 5.4. Goddard only about 4. So she's still the one I'm going to want to send out. We'll wait a bit. All right, let's get this show on the road. Weather was predicted to rain today. Not in the first part anyway. There we are. Plenty of time in between drivers. Could have probably even closed it up a bit. Muck down to just 9.9. Castelli at 4.6. Would expect him to do the better of the two. So to begin with, we're first and third. Oh, now first and like fifth. Second and fifth among our discipline. One more to come in. Okay, so yeah, Castelli did not do great. Muck did well. And let's see when we come in whether I want to go for... So I think we might have just enough time here. We'll see. We're going to give both these drivers a second shot at it. I'm thinking we might have just enough time to sneak in a fourth run at the end. Oh, shoot. It's not what I wanted to do. Have them going out on the same tires. Oops. So she'll wait, but that'll actually get him some time, of course. But that's not the way I want to gain time, for sure. What on earth? How did he... I didn't think he was that near the end of the lap. Doggone it. Didn't notice how close he was to the end of that open lap. Got to pay a little more attention here. Go ahead and run through the rest of this a little faster. And now we're going to switch out drivers. Mueller, it's time for you to get out there and do your thing. And Goddard not burning it up, but we don't have any more time to wait for him. And here comes the rain. I waited too long. I should have thought about that and switched drivers at the beginning. And that's going to really hurt our qualifying time. That's not that wet yet. We might get away with a half-decent lap here, at least with one of these drivers. We're going to have to switch to inters for the last one if we can even get one off and do the best we can with it. And now it's wet enough, things are really going to slow down. Still fast enough to get us up there. That's good. I don't really care where the second car ends up if we can. Yeah, and other teams are going to have a hard time improving their times as well. I don't think it matters that much where we end up otherwise, as long as we get that sponsor bonus. We can do whatever we need to in the race. So, we should have enough time for another set. At least I think we do. But Goddard was slowed down enough because he had to go under a lot more water. He's not going to get this up. Slow this down and hit our tire temps. There we go. Goddard, you need to warm up things here. Be interesting to see if Goddard can beat his own time now that he's out on inters. And now the track's drying out again, so probably not. Yep. That's okay. We finished second and last. We don't really care about being last. We care that we got the sponsor bonus. We're probably not going to start off the race like gangbusters. We typically don't. So all of that I think is working out just fine for us. And Baikalas gets the pole. Oh, look! Rain! Rain to start the race. Okay, it's damp and it's going to get pretty wet. And, yeah. So the question is, it looks like it's peaking there. And it looks like... Well, we definitely want to be on inters to start. But whether we might want to do a short stint and eventually switch to wets... Very possible. You have to see what the weather is when it gets there. So this is not going to be a by-the-numbers race. Still going to go with the hards and the race trim. Definitely do want to start with inters. Muck is at 10. I think I just definitely want to start with whoever is racing well to try to get us off to a good start. So you can do that. Now the question is, how long do we want to stay out there? And that's a little bit rougher. 61 laps. I think that's a little much, but... You know what? I'm just going to run with the first stint on full. It's going to cost us some time. I just don't feel like... I just don't know. So I don't feel like cutting the fuel is going to be that great of an idea. And, yeah, I'm going to stick with Kesthelia here. So, fresh inters. Make sure we're set here. I think we are. Yeah. Neutral, neutral. Okay, we'll see how well the fuel lasts. I think we're probably going to have to come in a little bit early. Maybe not. I don't know. The fuel for the opening stint, I feel, is still my weakness as strategizing how I want to do things here. So, what do they say about our drivers? Okay, Muck is down to 8, 4 and 4 though. And then our other car was down further. 6, 5, 4. Okay. We still got the best form driver out there to start the race. Can't really ask for any more than that. Let's get this rolling start underway. Muck, of course, beginning in second position among the B-class drivers. He's at 8.5, Castelli at 6. Can't complain about that. And, of course, I do expect a rough beginning due to our fuel. But the main thing I want to do is just get through this. We'll lose whatever time we lose. We're going to watch the weather. We're going to find out where we're going to be doing our boosts. Try to rally later in the race. And yeah, I do think I just didn't feel fully comfortable cutting it short. I don't know. But I do think we're going to be looking at some different pit stops, some different changes. We got this section here we could possibly use. And we come around to this. And I'm not sure which one, but I think I like the home stretch when you come around to the finish line. Yep, and Muck is fading now. Let's get that up a little bit higher. Right about there. Yeah. I like that whole stretch as my spot to boost on. So I think I'll start doing that with this next lap. Just see how that flows for us. I think it's definitely longer than that other section. That works. Castelli, of course, still hanging out near the back. And she gets a little bit further up with that boost. And I'll want to hit her again. Muck dropping another spot. And she'll move up another one. Switch over to him. Of course, he hasn't hit his fired up period yet. She's about to leave hers. Oh, hit that a little bit late. Up to 9.2, so he's driving well. Okay, it's going to get up there and then it's going to come back down. Whoops. Yeah, I missed that lap, but I've got enough time to get back to it. The thing is, by the time it gets up there, there we go, up to 18th, so he's trying to work his way back up. We seem to be reasonably competitive here. Not as fast as we'll be later, I'm sure, once I time out the fuel, but... So we started with 61 laps, so... Whoop, missed it again. I'm going to definitely need to hit her this time, but I need to see where we're at 51 laps. So how long does it take to go through 10 of them? She had passed some people and then lost it. Need to make sure I'm hitting this every time now because my drivers are getting a little bit high on the energy. Didn't quite get far enough to make that pass. I'm only working the energy down a little bit at a time here, so I think this race I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of 12 times speed boosting. It's going to be more of a longer one. That did not work too well because we had a whole bunch of traffic. No, he's up at 9.9. You can see a lot of the other cars hitting the tires harder, it appears. It's one of those things that'll help us as time goes by. Castelli down to last. And let's see. We probably, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we probably should be pushing our tires harder too. Let's go back up to push. Just barely got around here in time. Now here comes the fun part because we're still at inters, but it could go to wets for a bit. I don't think it's going to go to wets for long enough to pit, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure what the balance is on that and what the best thing is to do. Muck is in 17th and having some trouble moving up. Yep, they want wets now. Let's just take a look at that. It's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. You know, I'm going to take the driver's advice. So we're going to come in, and we're not going to be able to come in for that long. We're going to keep the fuel as it is. We're just going to switch you over to wets. Definitely going safe. And then, who's up? Castelli, I've got to get you. Doggone it. So it just looks to me like that arc is going to be enough time. And then we're going to want to bring her in. And I think if we look at the time here, yeah, the more I look at the arc, I don't know if I've got enough time to leave them out there. That might have been a mistake. I'm switching to Goddard. I'm going to switch to him. Switch to wets, have Castelli rest up, and maybe I should have done that the other way too. But on the other hand, then do I want more? No, because I'm gonna have to come in and get more fuel. So I don't want to do that yet. I'm gonna have to change tires at the end of this. Okay. So learning things as we go here. Okay, you can back off to neutral on those tires. Let's definitely get some speed going here. Yeah, but other cars are coming in. So, let's back off your tires for a bit. And let's see. Yep, I definitely want to be hitting Goddard now on the speed burst. Only half an hour into this race, but there's already a lot of things going on. Everybody's come in once. The one mistake, though, is in leaving Muck out there. So I'm going to have to try to keep him out for as long as I can. While Goddard is going to be fresher, excuse me. Now, Muck is doing pretty well up here. He's, fighting for second place basically now. Goddard is further back. And at least for the moment, we've taken second place. So we're feeling very good about how Car 1 is doing. Car 2, not so much, but we do have a lot of energy, probably more than most of our, I think more than most of our competition. So we can use that to our advantage, I would think. Now Goddard ready to go, fired up. Watching these driver times is going to get real interesting here. That one I held a bit long. Almost had enough of a gap there to go straight to Goddard. So if they split any further apart, right now it's about 25, 26 seconds. So I get them to like 30 seconds gap, then I should be able to do that. So we're less than 10 seconds there. Goddard has moved up to 21st, 9th out of the 12. It's right before that little jog. I think that's the best, but yep, I made it this time. Okay, so if I can do that, they're going to be split far enough apart, then I can really wear this down and maybe do some accelerated time. That would be nice. Looks like I want to keep the tires on neutral. I've got to get right out to Goddard. Yep, got a couple seconds to spare, and then we go. Still got to do at least a few more laps like this, but Muck is creeping up on first place. Even though he's worn out compared to a lot of the drivers, it's still working for us. Hit that a little bit late. Yeah, within 3 seconds now. And at this point in the race, 3 seconds away is basically tied. Yep, that was definitely late getting off of that boost. And Goddard now up in 8th, trying to work his way up the field. So I'm feeling very good about where we're at right now. We're doing that usual thing where we rally. There's our last couple of boosts. You can see we've gone through about 30, we've gone through half a tank. We've gone through 30 laps of fuel in about 50 minutes. So, let's see. To get through the 70 minutes that we need to generally do, we would need, basically I think I want to be at 45 laps of fuel most of the time. And let's go and speed this. But I want to be on 45 laps of fuel, so about a 3/4 tank. And then if I throw a growl out there, maybe that's 48. And what we're looking at here now is we're at the peak of the water. So we want to try to ride this, and our tire temperature is holding right where it is. So let's see, what's our, yeah, and it's going to get warmer. So we definitely don't want to be pushing at all. Almost an hour now in the car for Muck, but we are going to try to stretch him. And now it's going to start coming back down. The question is, I don't think we can keep Muck out there long enough until it gets back down to... Okay, let's slow down and start using some of this. But I don't think we can keep him out there long enough until it gets back down to where we want to switch to inters. That would be optimal. But I don't know that we can do that. It's our first set of boosts, and Goddard get back up to 19th. Muck only 5 seconds behind. So I'm feeling good about having Car 1 frankly win this race if we don't do anything dumb. Of course, that's always a large if. Of course, the irony here is if I was doing better with Car 2, with Goddard, then I would have to be still, synchronizing my laps and taking longer to do all these boosts. But since they're spread out, keep hammering it. Looks like Goddard picked up another spot, so all of a sudden we're 2nd and 5th. And it's only like 7 seconds now for that gap. Whoops, go. Let me look at that when I'm done boosting and not before. Okay. Yep, it's starting to come down. Definitely starting to come down, but I don't think it's coming down fast enough for Stefan here. He's dueling boost there with Tongue for the lead. And yep, okay, I blew that one. No problem. That's actually no problem at all. I'm just going to skip Muck this time around, ride with Goddard here. We're getting the energy pretty low anyway. And I think that I'm just going to... It's a good thing he's got low red zone. I'm going to ride it all the way down there to that red zone. Longer than I would normally keep him in the car. And just see. See if we can squeeze this out. Yep, 17th, and now the counter boost from Gonzalez. It's okay. And Muck here, back to about a 3-second plus behind. We've got the fuel. I'm not worried about the... I missed it. All right, we're going to We're going to speed up a bit here, but I'm not too worried about the fuel. And already Muck is way over the limit where I would normally send him. But yeah, he's got room. He's got enough stamina. He's got room to that red zone. No. Although actually, hold on, that might not be such a bad idea, because if we've got extra fuel, not going to be that long till we come in. You can refill fuel as fast as you can switch drivers. Yeah, let's take a look at our condition. Yeah, all our condition for our parts should be good. I think it's worth the risk. We will go up too high on both cars and just try to get some speed. So now that I think about it, that isn't actually a bad idea. If I start running low on reliability on something, I'm going to feel stupid, but I think I can afford it. And let's slow down again here. So where are we at on our... I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think they're going to start squawking about it soon. There they are. Muck, you come in first. Okay, he did make it. Good, good, good. Yeah, we're definitely going to go to Mueller. You go to Mueller, enters, fuel options. Now, we believe that we want 45. I actually think slightly under that, like about 42 is enough, but I'm going 45 just to be safe. I have changed them out, right? Yep, swap the driver. And let's see, 36 seconds, and yeah, so we've got to keep Goddard out there for another lap. Which means boosting time. Had some trouble getting around the traffic there, and then you're going to come in. Okay, so Goddard had a short stint. And that's going to throw off our drivers. But if we're coming in anyway, do I just want to come in and get, like, Kazthelyi back out there for a little... Well, if I've got to switch... We're going to be on inters for a while longer. The question is, do I want to get... Do I want to switch drivers, or do I want to just do a quick stop with him and then have him run the rest of this stint out? And I don't know the answer. Let's see, from here... I think we can get a full stint out of inters. And given that, I want to switch... Do I want to switch to Bjork this early? Because I'm going to need to get... Yeah, let's get a long set out of Bjork. Okay, so since I'm going Bjork, we're going to inters. Yeah, that gives him a little bit of extra fuel to make sure he can stay out there. Okay, and you're back out on inters. Go medium. Oh, they made a mistake on the tire. Really? 8.5 seconds? Gomez? Well, that sure as heck isn't going to help us. Let me switch it, please. Having trouble switching off here. Okay, so that was suboptimal. Very suboptimal pit stop there. And now Bjork with more time to try to gain up. Mueller getting stuck there a bit, but then pops up into 17th and loses it right away. But I'm going to skip a lap with Bjork just so we even out our spurts here. And the A-Class traffic not doing us any favors there either. Got through it for a bit. Others starting to come into the pits. And I think we're in first place after that happens. If not, we're close. There's Mueller going by. Yep. I don't think they did themselves any favor by waiting longer than us. I think that hurt them. So just sort of by listening to my drivers and doing my changes when they said to do them, I seem to have gained a solid advantage. We're going to speed this through, but we're at first and third in this race. Okay. So, about a quarter of the way through the race, we're looking very good. If it were to end now, we would expand our lead considerably as Dragon Speed and TRSM, aka Toyota, are not setting it on fire. So, our goal from here, don't be dumb and screw everything up. That's pretty much where we're at. Want to get a nice, good long stint from both these drivers, get a little bit extra from Bjork, and watch the temps and everything so that we know when to pull out. Because we're going to be having decreasing amounts of water. Yeah, and it's still raining some. It's going to stop raining entirely soon. So Mueller in the lead now by about 18 seconds. Wow, he's still in fired up, and now we're going to start burning energy. And Bjork would actually be, thinking about passing Rollins if we hadn't had that screw up in the pits. As it is, he's just a few seconds ahead of the rest of the field there in third. And has some work to do. Really nice gaps here, though. We've got about half a track in between the two cars. Makes it really easy to time these out. And really, Mueller just trying to pull away in car one. And Bjork trying to close that gap on second. That's what the game is right now. Hey, that's fine. You did a great job there. Won't be long until we get Bjork into his fired up state. We might be able to close that gap. Now down to about 12 seconds. About 26 minutes in the car, about 25 for Fed Bjork. Both drivers solid right now, between 5 and 6. And I think we're ready to take off again. So yeah, 10 to 11 seconds there. We closed that up to. It's drying out, but we're not nearly to the point of wanting dry tires yet. So we basically just want to keep burning and try to stay out here until that is the case. Mueller not losing any time, even though he's not burning his battery, so... Excellent, excellent, excellent all the way around there. And we're down to just over 4 hours to go. Almost a third of the race is history. Of course, we can really start to see the track drying out, but still some water coming off the back of these cars. Bjork is fired up and 10 seconds off of second place. Let's see how much of that lead we can eliminate, because it didn't lose that much while we were just saving up energy. Down to 7. And down to 5. So, chopping away at that boulder. And Timo Glock has crashed. And that's a Class A driver. Interesting that the Class A drivers are crashing more than the Class B drivers. I'm not sure what to make of that. I feel like we've had one almost every race. I think this is our last little boost for the moment. And gets it down to about 2.5 seconds. Yep. Oh, it's gonna... Alright, let's take a closer look at that, because it's gonna go down and then come right back up. The rain's gonna come back. Which means I don't think we want to switch to dry tires. Well, maybe we do. I don't know. No, it's going to be an extended period of just a little bit water. We probably do want to switch. When we do that, probably use the drivers that have not been out much. Maybe the first stint drivers. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not worried about your fuel. I'll tell you what I am worried about is I want to just back off the tires a bit. Let's take a look at our temperature. Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's going to go down some, but let's just back them off for a little bit here. There we go. Now they want to come in, and I'm going to send in Mueller first. And once again, we're having to switch tires without using a full stint on the driver. So that's not a lot of fun. And then, how long is this going to last? Let's see. I don't know, we maybe got... well, I'm just eyeballing it here. This is going to be almost a full stint that we're looking at, but not quite. But there's really no choice. Muck doesn't have enough energy. We've got to go to Negrau. We'll give him the extra fuel just in case. We're going to go on the hard tires. And safe. And where's Bjork at? Okay, he's earlier in the lap. We're going to wait for him to get by. And it's close, so it might be able to get there, but I'm just going to let him go around another lap. Definitely missed that one a bit late. Okay, now we're going to bring Bjork in. And here... Boy, this is a tough one. But I think I want to bring in Kestelyi. Well, I mean, Goddard is almost full. And he's at the top of his fired up range. I could put him back out there. But I'm going to bring her back out twice. I'm just going to bring her out there. I'm not sure which one's better. Hard tires. 45 laps. There we go. And yeah, one of the A-class cars already having mechanical difficulties. McGraw in a lot of traffic. Let's see if we can get... There we go. He's back up to first, and you see the other cars. They are just not... They're not switching yet. So we're being responsive to our drivers, and I think we're earning good dividends from it. Let's go to neutral. At 26 degrees, I probably don't want to go higher than that. Let's see, you've already come around. Okay, I need you here. And Kestelyi currently in fourth. McGraw, of course, over pushed that, but McGraw, of course, with his traditional complaining about the strategy that he himself is fully in control of. Of course, his form not the best either, but he came out here with a big lead, and I don't think that's going to change. It's going to be really interesting timing out, getting all the drivers in and out of their cars for the amounts that they need to be out here for this. But for now, we're looking very strong. We have the top two spots by a good margin. We're definitely, in terms of switching the tires, we're definitely beating the other teams when it comes to pit stops. And I have to think that they're going to have the same driver switch problems that we are. At least it would seem so. I don't know how they would not. So, and everybody else going out on softs, so they're going to have faster tires that wear down faster. See how that plays out. Of course, we've got the performance bonus on our hards. They may well have it on their softs. Okay. Go conserve then. And we'll slow down. Still over half of this wonderful race to go. McGraw holding the lead by almost a full minute. And like almost another minute back there. And whatever switches we have to do later, that makes me feel a little better about them, knowing we've got a very healthy cushion. Okay, so temp-wise, yeah, we should be good here. Let's go back to neutral on these tires. Oh, missed it. We are definitely losing ground, and not slowly here. Looks like it stopped now, though. It was down to 88 seconds for Tongue. It's back up to 90. They gained like almost 20 seconds on us, but now they've stopped gaining. Might be because of our speed boost. It might be that their tires, you can only push them so hard. And of course, those are going to definitely wear out faster than ours. Is the softs, there's no way they're going to make a full stint. So that's the sort of weakness in their strategy. Class A, Nestor Giroliami has crashed. They have 2 crashes in the same race. So chaos in Class A. And yeah, we're doing fine here again now. Maybe even pulling out ahead more. Down to almost no water, and then it's going to come back soon. It's also going to start heating up again soon. Half an hour for Negrao in the car, and Castelli making her way towards the halfway point of her time for the day. So right now it seems like these hard tires are doing okay. Just okay. Not spectacular. Not bad either. Part of that Negrao not driving that great. Castelli is driving pretty well. And now he's down to 4.4. So, our number 3 there just not having a fantastic day of it. See, now that we're boosting, though, Castelli, staying ahead of one of the Class A cars, which is great, but also starting to boost that time. And here comes the rain again. And I wonder how long it'll last. I do think I want to push on these cars, on these tires for Castelli. Negrao's are already, yep, missed it again. Negrao's are already really at the peak for temperature, but hers are not. Alright, we'll give her energy a rest now. But Andre here has some stuff to burn. See those soft tires really starting to, get significant wear now. And the question is, it might have been a good move because of how soon we're going to get to normal stint. They wouldn't have lasted, but it might have been a good move for those other teams to do that, given how soon we're going to be off to switch back to inters. That remains to be seen. And then we'll go back to neutral now. And we'll boost. halfway through the race. Nope. And there we go. Let's see. Negrao in first. Castelli in first. I think I'm going to bring her in first this time. Goddard is full. He's better driver. All of that stuff. I'd like to have him out there for a long time. And it looks like we're going to have that opportunity here. Looks like we're going to be on inters for a while. So, if I need to give him an extra 20 minutes in the car, or try to give him an extra 20 minutes in the car, that means... I'm not sure exactly how much, but I'm going to boost him up to 55 laps of fuel. See if we can make that work. Really? Oh, I didn't switch. That would have been bad. And now we will pit with Negrao. And who are we going to here? Well, it's an opportunity to get that longer stint. So even though Mueller is not driving better per se, I think I want to go with the same thing with him. Inters. I'm going to give him one more up to 56. That was a nice boost. Good pit stop there as well. And we'll get one out of Mueller here and then speed it up. Alright, so both drivers here looking to hang out for a nice long stint until they have to switch at the end of their allotted driving time. We know Mueller can make it because he's got the 94 stamina. Not as sure about Goddard and the 88. Mueller's form is down, Goddard's is solid. But in the bigger picture, of course, we've got a nice lead. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and just power through this. Would appear instead of the usual 4 stops, we're going to be dealing with 6 on this track, although it could be more. It depends on how long this lasts. Looking more and more like it's going to peak in perfect inters territory, so we don't need to switch to wets. And yeah, we're getting pretty high here. Let's not get that crazy about it. We're going to really need to knock down some of this energy. Getting really close here. Just need to make sure I don't miss any boosts here for a few laps, and we'll be fine. And now we're getting down there to where it's comfortable again. Seem to be maintaining our margins against the other cars, not pulling away, not fading. So I think they won that soft stint by a bit, but it wasn't by enough to really make any significant. And look at that, they just fell back by like 20 seconds. I'm not sure why. Okay. Onward we go. And we're off the fired up standard, but that's okay. Still feeling pretty good about ourselves. Two and a half hours left. They're gaining a bit on us, but I'm not too overly worried. Goddard's going to have to come in about 4 minutes ahead of Mueller. So he's the one we're watching for, and he's got a little under an hour left in the car. Every lap, every minute we get by at this point without anything bad happening is simply one step closer to victory. Really, we're at the point where I just want to be running out the clock bit by bit. We'll get one more here with Mueller. And it's off to the races again. I think it's time to conserve some because our tires are getting warm here. Particularly doesn't hurt when we're going on some ultra long stints like this. Just make sure that those aren't getting out of control. All right, I'm taking another quick look at our weather. It's going to rain and get warmer. Okay. And it's going to stay in Inter's territory for sure. It's going to gradually slide down there, but so this is just a wet weather race. And if anything, we're pulling slightly away from the others, but it really looks like it's very even right now. We just have our lead due to strategic maneuvers earlier, and neither side gaining an advantage at the moment. Whoops, we're late there. Mueller's form has picked up, though, which is nice. Goddard continues to drive well. Mueller a bit above average. And probably one more for Mueller here should be enough. Maybe two, but probably just this one. Yeah, held it a bit long, but either way, we're going to go. We're going to back up to neutral. Now we've got some nice cooling in for our tires. 2 hour mark, and Goddard has about half an hour, a little bit more in. And then we're going to have to start doing our final switches. Yep, that's fine. We're saving your fuel. I gave you all that fuel for a reason. Boy, and look at the temperature go up. And it's going to get even warmer. Okay. We're going back to conserve. And tires are about 2/3 gone. I think I want to stay on conserve as much as I can. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm overdriving. Okay, Goddard, you're first, I think. Nope, Mueller's going to get there first. Just burn a little bit here. So we didn't waste a lot there. We did waste a little bit, but I think it's quite all right. 20-25 minutes yet before we can pull the drivers in here. Goddard just over 2 hours, and Mueller about to hit the 2 hour mark. Nobody else has come in quite a while. We've got a couple that come in for a 5th stop. That was definitely held too long. Come on, come on, come on, Zane. Get this done. Lapping the final car there, Deegan. And now he's gone red in the timer. Okay, so let's speed this up until we get him a little bit closer. Couple more pit stops coming. We're not prepared to make ours yet. Want to get these drivers real close to max. Goddard low stamina. Down to 30. He's not in the red zone yet. I'm okay with that. But is 30 some sort of... it's probably their warning time where, hey, you're going to hit red zone too soon, possibly. Just in time for Mueller's little push there. Should have time to burn up a good amount of this energy and then start our stops. I believe these are the longest stints that I've run, but this is why you want drivers with good stamina. A little bit more than I wanted there. Tires down to 30%. I definitely want to keep them on conserve. Okay, he's about at 221 there. Let's see where he is coming around the next lap. Alright, let's switch to Goddard and let's just hold on to this. Because I don't know. I think he can just afford one more. Just barely. Boy, I could be wrong too. Use it all and then pit. You're definitely coming in. And I might have done it a little bit too high. Okay. So Kazthelyi is just over the 1 stint mark. So Bjork could afford to go the rest of the race. She can't. He's driving better. He's not as good, but he's driving better. Let's do it. So if I need to make him go basically like 126, extra long stint. Hold on. Let me see where we're at in fuel. Yeah, we definitely didn't have too much fuel that time. We had the right amount. So we'll go back up. $55 laps. Hold the park condition. Hold everything safe. And still, all that fuel takes 1 second less than switching the driver. I'm maybe about to find out what happens if you go over the time. Mueller, on the other hand, is fine. I don't even need to watch him. We get like a 10-second penalty here or something? I think we're about to find out. Yeah, he's going just over. He went just over. Doggone it. Well, it's okay. With a big lead like this, is as good a time as any to figure that stuff out. You know what? You don't need to be on conserve anymore. Go neutral. Oh, I didn't switch tires. Got to bring him back into switch tires. That was dumb. Okay, where are we at here on... It's going to stay at least some wet the rest of the way, I think. Another 30-second pit stop to fill the tire. Now, what's it say? Yeah, he went over by 47 seconds. So we're going to find out what that means. Meanwhile... Mueller definitely needs to come in this time. Okay, so who do I replace him with? And again, you got to go with driver number 3. Otherwise, we have to make an extra stop to get Muck out there more, and I don't think that's worth it. So, switch. Not 60, but we want to give you plenty. Yep, your brakes are not looking hot. 37 seconds. One extra second on that pit stop. And now there's Bjork out, and he's still ahead of Rollins. So we still should finish in the same position. Go neutral if we can. Oh, it's going to be pretty hot. And you're going to be going on a long stint. So go ahead and go conserve. Yeah, and you're going to do whatever the heck you want for a while. Bjork, definitely want to get some of that energy used before we go speeding away here. But now, yeah, and now we're a lap apart. Because of that screw up, we're a lap apart. So I just made the rest of this race just simply artificially take longer. Although, you know what? We're far enough ahead. Yeah, we're far enough ahead. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to do the usual run out the clock mode. Just... Yeah, well, stop doing that. Just keep it on max speed, and then when the energy gets really high, just burn my way around the whole track. Gonna have to watch Bjork, because that could get a little tight with him, but it certainly shouldn't with Negrau. At least in theory. Really? You're whining about your own screw-up twice in a row. Fix it, Andre. You know what to do. A third time. You don't say. Looks like having him conserve isn't reducing the temperature at all. That's how warm we are. The water on the tracks can get really low towards the end. But I think we're just going to try to run out the clock anyway. That's 4. Andre Negrau, you really are an idiot. I regret bringing you back as a driver. Truly I do. Yeah. How about you go back up on the tires and then medium on the gas for a while. Okay? And what's the temperature going to do? It's going to stay high, so I'm never going to be able to bring it back down lower. Still about a 30-second gap for Bjork. No need to be concerned there. I think for both drivers, actually, let's just bring that tire temperature all the way down. You may very well lose some distance or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Don't care about your excess fuel warning. There we go. Now let's go conserve both cars. And we've got less than 50 minutes to go. We just got our speed away around the rest of this. There we go. 40-some second lead. As long as we can finish this. And the track doesn't dry out too fast. Like, that's the only real concern I have left, is the track drying out too fast. Somebody being able to pit and then somehow pass me still. And I don't think there's going to be time for that. But it's going to drop quite a bit that last half an hour. So, we cannot be sure. I like where the tire temperature is stabilizing. After all that, worrying about which dry tires were best, we only used one set. We only used the one set of hards. Almost a full minute ahead for Bjork. It's just hard for me to see us losing that kind of lead at this point. Not impossible, of course. I just think it's unlikely. Both drivers with plenty of time, so that's not going to be an issue. And another set of boosts. Let's ride with who's going to be our race winner. Yeah, you've got 36 minutes left. There's only 27 on the clock, so that doesn't bother me. Bjork is not telling me he has excess fuel. McGraw is. Oh my, they want... Okay, we got to think about this here. They want dry tires with 30 minutes to go. All right, let's give them dry tires. To heck with it. We're going to come back in. Not hard tires. Yeah. Give them the softs. And actually, since we're... No. Hold on. Since we're coming in for this anyway. There's no reason not to switch back drivers, because it's only going to lose us a few seconds. We've got plenty of fuel. We don't need to get any of that. So we'll do that. And drivers are almost a minute apart. So, switch here. Soft. Do 5 more laps of fuel just because. I think we got plenty, but let's be sure we have plenty. There we go. Okay, so we're going to have 6 and 7 pit stops. I was hoping that was going to get down to like 10-15 minutes. At 25 minutes, we've just got to make the change. We're definitely going to want to stay on conserve, and that still might be too high. Others are coming in for them or have already also. So we're not the only ones making this move. Looks like conserve is going to do it. We have excess fuel in both cars. All right, let's go. Just over 30 seconds there, and they haven't pit yet. Once they come in, yeah, this is going to be over. Especially with Castelli in fired up mode to try to accelerate away. They are. That suspension and those brakes, all that hard driving earlier, starting to come back, but it's only the last 20 minutes. Last 20 minutes of the race, no big deal. Not very many of these speed bursts remaining in this one. Milner has retired with mechanical issues. That's one of our competitors. Castelli knocking out the fastest lap of the race. No. Not with our parts the way they are, it isn't. And we're going to cruise to victory. Final 10 minutes here in Yokohama. Another stirring success, and frankly, this should really put us in firm control now of the championship. Very much like our odds of winning the team's title. Five minutes left. Burn your way around. Burn, burn, burn. Speaking of which, let's do one last round of this just because we can. And this should be the final lap. And there's Muck claiming the victory. Castelli is going to give us second place. And says, that was alright. First and second, alright. Still finished over a minute behind our first car. Beautifully done. 989 kilometers for both of ours, 985 for third place. So we finished a lap ahead of everybody. First and fourth in the standings. We were second before, now we're up to first. And okay, so now we've got a 52-point lead over TRSM, who is up to second. Dragon Speed is third, and everybody else, Bike Hollows and below, are at least 2 races behind us. Second and third are 1 race behind us, with 4 to go. So we'd really have to botch this not to win. We're so much better, even our colors are better. I get tired just driving to work. Duval looked like he was about ready to collapse, etc. So what do we have for Muck? Race winner, of course. Mueller, all of you excited race winner. And whoa, why did your stats take such a dive? Car 2, 5.3, 5.9, 6.1. Happy with the money making. Trying to crawl our way out of that debt. So now we're moving on to Vancouver. And really at this point, we just want to nail this, want to clinch it. I mean, obviously we can save ourselves a long video or maybe two if we can clinch early. Potentially, if we do well enough the next couple of races, we could potentially clinch after race 7 and be able to skip. So we do well enough in Vancouver and Dubai, we could have sort of a montage for Phoenix and Sydney. So that's going to be my goal, but of course the number one goal is just to win. And of course we also need to start thinking more and more about preparing for next year when we will be moving up to the higher tier, the LMP1. So off to Canada next time. Till then, thanks for watching everybody. More Motorsport Manager will be coming soon.